Unique stories that define our state's character. Here's Kevin Mackey with your Montana Moment. Sponsored by Montana Chevy Dealers.
Assets to success. Doing what you do well usually brings rewards, but nothing's ever assured. Sometimes life throws a curveball, and you need to change direction. In our Montana Moment from Libby, Kevin Mackey with log splitters and toasters.
It's a typical busy day at New to You in Libby. Bonnie Strand owns and operates this second-hand store and pawn shop. It's been in her family close to 40 years.
This is a very rewarding business. It's different every day.
Bonnie credits Wyatt Bratch for much of the shop's success, for knowing the business and its customers. Wyatt's a pawnbroker, but that's not all.
Advice giver to, research. I mean, it's just, there's numerous jobs here.
Every day, Wyatt meets people who are in a pinch.
Times are getting a little tougher for everyone out there.
A pawn shop provides short-term loans by accepting customers' items as collateral. It returns the property if the customer pays the loan back with interest. If not, the shop keeps the item for sale.
We give them opportunity to get them back because we don't want them to lose their things. We're not looking to keep their items. They think we're doing them a favor, and when in reality, they're the ones that keep us in business.
Bonnie also buys and sells new and used items. She says the shop does well. She wants her customers to do well too. It's something her father taught her.
To show them compassion when they're in a bad way, to be fair, but also to be able to make your margins on it and make your money.
The lessons of the late Dave Strand, the heart of this story, whose passing still scrapes emotions raw.
He was rough and tough, but I can tell you the stories I've heard about how many things he gave away to people and how he helped them buy their first furniture set without making them pay up front. And he did all these things that I never knew, he never told us about.
Her dad, she says, had a rough life himself. Bonnie and her siblings called him the $6 million man.
He was 7 years old. He actually jumped off a train and cut off his leg below the knee.
He broke his neck while working on Libby Dam, but none of that stopped him from his chosen profession.
Well, he was a logger.
Peggy and Dave Strand were married 50 years before he died. They had 4 kids. Peggy says logging took a toll on her husband. He injured his back and his arm.
He had a skidder on the hill, and he had put the brake on, and when he went to take the cable and wrap it around a log, the brake released, and then it grabbed that cable right around his arm, and it pulled it to about that big around.
That still wasn't enough to stop him from logging.
His knees went bad. He couldn't do the logging. None of those other things really stopped him, but his knees stopped him.
So, with kids to raise, he pivoted to another profession. He started a secondhand store.
I said, well, Strand, what makes you think you can run a secondhand store? But right from the get-go, it was a success. I mean, he was a natural at being a wheeler dealer.
Everyone knew him, Dave Strand, and he negotiated the heck out of everything. There was always a deal going on.
David Strand took from his life experience working in the woods massive knowledge and everything from log splitters to toasters and everything in between. Dave and Peggy ran the store for years.
He knew the value of things.
Their daughter Tara was a teenager when the store first opened. She was mortified. A second-hand store? Dad!
So all my friends are driving by watching us open up a secondhand store, and I remember hiding my face and being embarrassed, and then it ended up being the best thing that ever happened to our family.
In fact, Tara and her husband eventually ended up running the store for a while. Tara learned that being in the pawn business was more than a business.
There was a lot of therapy sessions in here. There was. We have bar stools up there for a reason. Some of the desperate people that would come in to pawn, that was really hard on me.
Tara left secondhand and pawn and became a caregiver for the elderly. Her brother Davey ran the store for 15 years.
No, I was excited. I was there from day one.
Davey loved everything about the store.
I worked in here from the time I was 9 years old and learned all about the guns. That was my favorite part. I think I was 14 when I was working in here alone when my mom and dad were gone.
Ask Davey about any gun in the store. He'll tell you all about it.
These are my favorites. Anything with a wood stock.
As a little kid, Davey even had his own section in the store.
My own baseball card little business. Got business cards called Davey's Sports Cards.
He says he and his dad even went to sports card trade shows.
My wife, Shannon, she started working in here when she was 16. A few years later, we married and started our family.
Yeah, we raised our kids in here. Our kids, when we'd be bringing all the furniture in, they'd be playing hide and go seek in the furniture.
When Bonnie took over the store from Davy, even she was surprised. She had left the area after graduating from Troy High School.
I would have bet you $1 million I would never move back to Libby, Montana, ever. And here I am, and I've never been happier.
And her dad, oh my gosh, he was so proud. He was so excited that stayed in the family, and me too.
One of her favorite memories, warming up his coffee.
And I remember being super busy and thinking, someday I'm not going to be able to do this for him. And so I was really happy that I could heat up his coffee, and I'd give anything to be able to do that again.
He was my best friend. We worked every day together. I miss him terribly bad.
Davy keeps those sports cards his dad bought him close. They're not for sale. Kevin Mackey, NBC, Montana.
From the NBC